Hey everyone, it's Tom Panos here. Glad to be giving you a test drive of my Prospector. This is going to be a very simple tutorial where I'm just going to show you three things that I think are the most important things. I don't want you to let perfect get in the way of better. I just want you to get used to the main function so you can start prospecting as of today. You'll notice up here there is a session timer, there is a progress details tab, and there's a data table. And what I'm going to do here is actually run you through each of these tabs. The first thing is to get a prospecting session up and running. It has been defaulted to 45 minutes. I'm recommending that you should be aiming to be doing 3 to 5 45-minute sessions per week. To get it up and running, all you do is press this button here, and as you'll see, the timer starts. As you're doing your prospecting, you'll notice that there are three key performance indicators. There's calls dialed, and that is the people that you actually call. There's calls reached, these are the people that pick up, and the last tab is appointments. I have to tell you that I'm not going to say it's a cookie cutter approach and that I insist that you use the appointments one as well. I know some agents do, some agents don't. Some agents are doing calls because they're building emotional equity in their calls to their vendors. They're not, or prospective vendors, they're not expecting to get an appointment every time, but the tab is there. So let's just go through. You can easily, if you adjust the calls dialed with this button there, and you'll just see I'm just moving it up here. Every time you make a call, you just move it up there. Calls reached, you adjust here. As you can see, we've got it up to 5. If you've got to adjust for any reason, you can take it down there. As you can see there, appointments there. Once you have finished your call session, you go down here to click and save to start a new session. So what I'll do is I'll click on that there, or before I do that, I just want to show you, you of course can press the pause button here, restart it again, click to save a session, you just do it here, and now this is beginning to save the session. As you can see, what's happened now here is it's gone back to 45 because it has shown that you have finished that session. So the session was successfully saved. You can see that down the bottom. Guys and girls, progress details tab here is a page that you'll use regularly, because in the red here you'll see that you've got your weekly target. It defaults to 100 calls a week, and that tells you how many calls you need to make to meet your target. You can adjust this yourself. Hopefully you will. Hopefully you'll be doing more than 100 calls. Here, and by the way, just to define, calls dialed are people that you've rung, calls reached are people that you get a hold of. Now, if you look at this section here, you'll see calls dialed, calls reached, appointments. Underneath it, it's got last 4 weeks. You can actually adjust this here, and it changes the numbers based on that. I generally think that you'll be using the last 4 weeks most of the times, but it's up to you. And what you'll notice down here is you can actually put your cursor over the week, and it will tell you what you actually did that week. The weeks are done by calendar year. So if you have a look at here, week 26 is, the last week of the financial year. When we look at week 1, which I'm not going to bring up here, week 1 is January 1 to January 8. So it works in calendar years. But as you can see here, the call session that I recently did was 18 calls dialed, 4 reached, 3 appointments. Here you can actually have these on or off by clicking them. You can, so if you only want to have calls reached and appointments showing, or if you only want to have appointments showing, or if you just want to have calls dialed without appointments there, you'll see there, it just tells you how many calls you've dialed. I've had some agents trial it and say to me that they're more obsessed about their calls dialed, and that's what they have. Versus calls dialed, and appointments versus calls dialed. So it basically tells you your ratio as a percentage. Again, extra functionality that particularly those that want to measure their percentage rates, which gives them a clearer picture on how they're going on each indicator. But I think I like to keep things simple and easy and don't let perfect get in the way of better. I'd rather you focus solely, as you start off with, on your calls dialed and your calls reached. They're the two most important things. This gets all your sessions saved here. I like it. It's simple, it's clear. It tells you how much time you did, calls dialed, calls reached, appointments. It stores stuff for up to 30 days, and you can edit it here. So if you wanted to come in here, you still have the opportunity to edit. So as you can see here, you can actually edit this. And most importantly, you can actually download all your entries, which is really good because it's only keeping them for 30 days, but you can download your entries by just clicking here, and you can download it to an Excel document for you to have. So guys and girls, it's as simple as that. I look forward to hearing your success in prospecting. In summary, I want to remind you, what you measure, you manage. What gets scheduled gets done. You've got a tool, but I want to remind you, nothing works unless you do. Here's a tool to keep you accountable, and it's going to allow me, when I have a one-on-one coaching session with you, for me to be able to talk about what your prospecting volumes are like, because this data will be able for me to be used in our coaching conversations together.